Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jon Snow, and I'm a functionary in the NGO Vineyard, and delighted to be here today on a very, very important occasion, the Sheila McKechnie Awards. Sheila would have been a member, or at least a supporter, of every single organisation in this room, and would probably have worked for half of them. She was a quite remarkable activist. She was somebody who, well, I don't know what her life was beyond what she did in the NGO sector, because that was more than full time. She was an impossible person to have in a television studio. You're always advised never to have wild animals or babies in a studio. Sheila McKechnie, well, she was neither a baby nor a wild animal. The problem was she was uncontrollable. You would bring her in on one issue and she would deliver on about 15 others, and floor whatever politician you've got there as well. But the amazing thing is she managed to keep relationships open with politicians, with people who worked in local government, with the people, as it were, on the other side, with whom we now have forged great partnerships. And the history of those partnerships is very much built on the kind of work that Sheila did. I guess we treasure her most for what she did for shelter, and I must say I wouldn't even be standing here were it not for shelter. Not because they provided me with shelter, but because when I was a student, almost the first awareness I had of what you might be able to do for other people in the voluntary sector came with a film on BBC which was called Cathy Come Home, and it was a searing account of a single mother struggling to survive against appalling odds in awful housing and the rest of it. And Shelter was born off the back of this particular program, which, if you can remember in those days, you can't remember, but if you knew, in those days, there were only 3 channels of television. So things like films and plays like that would get perhaps 10 or 15 million people watching at one moment. So it had a massive impact. And Shelter was literally born in the surge of outrage which followed it. And Shelter eventually came to be led by Sheila, but amongst that she did a huge number of other things, campaigning for better conditions for consumers, campaigning for better conditions for prisoners. There is actually nothing she didn't set alight. And the interesting thing is, the very fact that Gordon Brown, who was a friend of hers when she was a student, remains a supporter to this day is itself a modern miracle, because there are many politicians who would run a mile if they saw Sheila coming, because they knew it would involve more expenditure, more apologies, and more promises to do better next time. So I'm thrilled to be standing. Sadly, her life was shorter than it should have been. Thrilled to be standing here in her honour with these wonderful Sheila McKechnie Awards. And the sheer diversity of the people who have both been nominated and eventually won these awards is itself a testament to the kind of work that we remember her for. Now what's going to happen actually is that, oh, by the way, I need to tell you that the foundation was set up, the Sheila McKechnie Foundation was set up to remember her and to recognise future campaigners. So although we have some brilliant present-day campaigners, one of the best, Lord Howe, Geoffrey Howe, the man who brought decency into British politics, and much else besides. But although we have people ranging from, shall we say, the older end of the campaign spectrum, and we have seasoned campaigners like Tony Juniper, this award is not for them. This award is for the as yet unrevealed and undiscovered campaigners who are in small communities, in small projects, in new projects, who are doing great and innovative work. So the whole idea is that we're out to breed more Sheila McKechnies, though don't bring them to Channel 4 News at all soon. This is the 4th year of the awards. There are 12 award categories. We've had an enormous number of applications for them, many more than ever before. There's an amazing group and diversity of award winners, and today is all about keeping these awards secret until now, so a lot of people don't even know if they have actually won or not. This is an age when we need to encourage campaigns as never before. For example, there are a number of environmental groups here. Copenhagen Summit coming up on the 8th of December. There's going to be a tremendous need to put pressure on our politicians to deliver for the planet when they go to Copenhagen to negotiate a new climate change treaty. But there's much more besides. There are, in a recession, in a depression, in a time of need. This is a time when campaigns to bring people together, to self-help, and not simply look to central government or local government to provide, for us within the community to provide. And that's what so many people here are doing. They may be aided by central or local government, but the whole essence and spirit of the campaigns comes from the grassroots, comes from the community.